I'm 680 News Senior Business Editor Mike Eppel. Well, that was a month to forget, at least we'd like to try, after markets globally wiped out trillions of dollars in market value over the course of October. The last couple of days haven't been bad. We saw some buying both yesterday and today for global exchanges and a little bit of a bounce. But overall, we'll call it a spooky month, as the TSX, the Dow, and the NASDAQ all tumbled for October due to various things, whether it's the fear of rising interest rates, worries about U.S. and China trade negotiations, Brexit, Italy's budgetary issues, corporate earnings. You name it, it was all a risk factor for investors this month, and investors did a whole bunch of selling for October. The TSX is still down for this year by about 7%. General Motors had a big quarter. The biggest U.S. automaker rolled out a quarterly earning of $2.7 billion in the last three-month period, even though they were selling fewer vehicles. But they were making big profit margins on pickup trucks, big sellers in the United States specifically, and in China, big sales of Cadillacs. Now, even with that, GM is looking to reduce its North American salaried workforce by about 18,000 positions, and they're looking at voluntary buyouts. Facebook, despite all of its issues regarding privacy and data breaches and the control or spread of false information on social media platforms, saw a big quarter. The social network earned $5.1 billion in its third quarter on $13 billion in sales. Mark Zuckerberg saying it's been a tough year, but he's looking to expand the platform more into video services, including things like Facebook Watch and Instagram TV. Air Canada was putting in some pretty good numbers for its third quarter. Earnings in from the Montreal-based airline today. A $600 million plus profit in the latest quarter, and revenue flat sort of year over year. Actually, it was up about 11%, but the profit margin's not quite as strong because Air Canada, similar to its competitor WestJet, was paying more in jet fuel costs on a comparable basis. Canadian Tire rolling out some new e-commerce options, looking to make it more convenient for consumers. It's unveiling these 16-foot self-serve robotic e-commerce towers in 5 locations across Canada, some here in Toronto, as it looks to, again, compete more effectively on e-commerce and internet sales against other retailers such as Walmart and Amazon. Oil market recovering, looks maybe to recover from its worst month in 2 years. Price for oil this month down more than 8%. We've seen a resulting retreat in gas prices across Canada, and overall the energy market was quite the decliner from a global perspective on worries of rising supply and less demand, especially if China's economy starts to slow. And Bitcoin is celebrating a birthday. It was October 31st of 2008 that an anonymous cryptographer going by the pseudonym of Satoshi Nakamoto unveiled the first white paper on cryptocurrencies. It was taken up by another computer programmer, software engineer, Gavin Andresen, in 2011. But no one exactly knows who the real creator of Bitcoin was. But the talk is they have more than $6 billion worth of cryptocurrencies. And, of course, Bitcoin really took off, as did other cryptocurrencies a couple of years ago, culminating in a peak of nearly $20,000 U.S. last November. Today, it closed around $6,200. From the 680 newsroom, I'm Mike Eppel for City News.